Hi, readers. It's great to see you. I'm excited about our read aloud for today. Here's the target that we're going to focus on while we read today. I will infer the meaning of new and interesting words I don't recognize by using context clues. Who remembers, or maybe you've never been exposed to the word infer? That's right. Infer means that you put together the background knowledge you have in your head with the text clues you read from a book. When you merge those two things together, you're able to make an inference or tell something that's happening about a character or a thing in the text that the author's not directly telling you. So, for example, if the author writes that the character stomped their feet and had a bright red face, what could you infer? Right, that character's angry. The author didn't tell you that. You made that inference as a really smart reader by merging your background clues of what you've experienced in life with the words that you read in the text and putting those together. So we're going to practice doing those by using the context clues. And the context clues are the words and the sentences and the things in the book that are happening around the new and interesting word that you might not be familiar with. So let's get started. All right, what genre do you think this book is? We are going to read Bill and Pete by Tomie Depaola today. If you look at the cover of this text, do you think it is fiction or nonfiction? And why? I agree. The genre of this book, I think, is fiction because I can tell it's a drawn cartoon and it looks like smiling animals that might be able to talk. Do animals talk in real life? No. So let's read on to find out. All right, so now remember, when we are using our context clues to remember the meaning of new words, this is where we are merging and putting together that background knowledge that you have in your head with those text clues and the words and the pictures that you take straight from the text. Let's practice what this could look like. If you look at that image, your text clues are what you see right here in this image. What background knowledge do you have that could help you make a smart inference of what that's a picture of? I'm seeing wrinkles. It looks rough. It's gray. I have background knowledge. I've seen all those things together on an animal I've seen at the zoo before. So if I look at my text clues, gray, wrinkles, rough, with my background knowledge of where I've seen that before, I can make a really smart inference. What do you infer that's a picture of? What do you think it is, readers? Come on, I want to hear it. Come on, I can hear you through this screen. That's right. It's an elephant. So when you talk about your inference, it could sound something like this. I inferred it was an elephant because I know elephants have rough, gray, wrinkly skin. I've seen that before when I've been to the zoo. And so when I put that background knowledge together with what I saw in that image and I merged those two things, I was able to infer that was an elephant. That's exactly what inferring looks, sounds, and feels like as a reader. So you've got this. No big deal. Let's practice with this page pulled straight from the book that we're going to read today before we begin. He curved through the living room into the So this is that part of our target where we're using the context clues. Use the clues in the picture and the words that you do see to figure out what you think these missing words are. I can see a blend at the beginning of this word that starts with cur. So what could make sense here? Look at your picture clues and think about what would make sense in this sentence. He, cur, well, looks like he's sneaking. Do you have any background knowledge on a synonym or another word that might mean the same as sneaking and begins with cur? He cur through the living room into the... Well, if I use my context clues of what's happening around, I can see he's going into a room in the house that has a door on it and has tile. I have background knowledge that the bathrooms in my house are full of tile because they're easily wipeable and can get wet. So I infer that this first word might be, what do you think? What are you thinking, readers? Use your context clues, use your background knowledge. That's right. I infer that this word might be crept because I know crept is a synonym for sneaking, and it looks like this character is sneaking through the living room. I inferred that because I know crept is a synonym for sneaking, and I can see the blend CR, cur. So when I read that, I inferred it could be crept. Ready to find out? Dun, da, da. Way to go, readers. Now, how about this last word that's missing? So you could treat this like a word that you're having a hard time reading, or a new word that you maybe don't know the meaning of. He crept through the living room into the... What would make sense in this sentence? He crept into the bedroom. Could make sense. Yeah. He crept into the kitchen. Could make sense because those are other rooms inside a home. But if you look at these text clues really carefully, what room in your house might have tile all the way up the walls? Use that background knowledge and where you've seen that before. So if I were to talk about this, it might sound something like this. I infer that that word is bathroom. And I infer that it's bathroom because I know I have the background knowledge that bathrooms have a ton of tile because they can get wet. They also have doors that close for privacy. And when I read this sentence, he crept through the living room into the bathroom. That would make sense. You could sneak through the living room in the house to get to another room. And the bathroom's another room in the house. Let's find out. Dun, da, da, nicely done. So readers, that's exactly what we're going to do when we practice using our context clues. When you are inferring, you might be trying to figure out what a new word means, or you also might just be trying to figure out a word that you're having a hard time reading. Either way, using those context clues that you read on the text and in the picture, merged with your background knowledge, is a really smart way to make those inferences. All right, we are going to now read Bill and Pete all together. So this is a story of two good friends, Bill and Pete, and they live in Egypt. So this story is taking place in a country in Africa, right up here. This country is called Egypt. By Tomie Depaola. William Everett Crocodile lived in the banks of the Nile River with his mama. One day, Mama said, "William Everett, now that you have nice crocodile teeth, we must go to Mr. Hippo's store and get you a toothbrush before you start school tomorrow." Okay, readers, here's a chance to practice that inferring. When I read the word banks, I was thinking, wait, a place that protects my money? Like where I keep my money in the bank? Let's reread and see if we can use our text clues to infer what banks might mean. What would make sense? William Everett Crocodile lived on the banks of the River Nile with his mama. The River Nile, I have background knowledge, that's a river in Egypt, in Africa. And I can see on the picture clues the river's right here. So I can infer from what my background knowledge of what I do know about rivers and what would make sense right here is he lives right on the edge of the river. He doesn't live in a place that protects my money. So I was able to connect the clues that I see in the picture, the sentence that I read, with the background knowledge on what I have of rivers and what would make sense, because the bank that my money is safe in wouldn't make sense, right? William Everett liked Mr. Hippo's store because it was full of things. He and Mama walked up and down the aisles. They stopped in front of the toothbrush counter. "You may choose your own toothbrush, William Everett," Mama said. William Everett looked and looked. "Hi," said a toothbrush. "What's your name?" "My name's William Everett." "What's yours?" "Pete," said the toothbrush. "I found the toothbrush I want, Mama," said William Everett. "His name is Pete." "Good," said Mama. "We can go home now." Readers, what do you notice about the crocodile's toothbrush? I've never had a toothbrush that can talk to me. Have you? I noticed the toothbrush is a bird. Did you see all these toothbrush choices over here? So I'm actually inferring that birds must clean crocodiles' teeth. I have seen in books and videos about crocodiles, birds hanging out on their back and stuff before. So birds must clean their teeth. Crocodiles would call a bird a toothbrush. Makes sense to me. So Pete became William Everett's toothbrush and his best friend too. The next morning, Mama said, "William Everett, wake up. It's time to go to school." "Oh, Mama," William Everett said, "I can't wait to read and write and learn all about crocodile history." "Someday I will be proud of you, William Everett," Mama said. "Now, class," said Miss Ibis. I've never read that word before, Ibis. Let's use our text clues and our background knowledge. "Now, class," said Miss Ibis. Oh, well, if I look at my picture clues, it must be her name. The teacher's name. That would make sense because I can tell a teacher is talking to the students. And if someone's talking and there's talking marks, that must be his teacher's name. And names could be silly. Names can be real things, and names could be not real things sometimes. So in this case, it must be the teacher's name. What kind of animal is that teacher? What do you think? Today, we are going to learn the alphabet. Then we will be able to write our names. Now repeat after me. The little crocodiles repeated after Miss Ibis. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, G, G. They said the whole alphabet. They said the letters over and over and over again until they knew all of them by heart. "Well, William Everett," said Mama, "what did you learn in school today?" "William Everett, say the alphabet," said Pete. William Everett said every letter without a mistake. What can you infer about Mama here? Ooh, she's feeling proud. "Oh, William Everett," Mama said, "that was beautiful." The next day, Miss Ibis taught the class how to write all the letters. The little crocodiles wrote the letters over and over until they could write them by heart, just like the alphabet. And you all did that at one point as learners too. "And what did you learn today, William Everett?" Mama asked. "William Everett, write the letters," said Pete. William Everett wrote every letter without one mistake. "You're so smart, William Everett," Mama said. "Someday you will be famous." "Today, class, we are going to write our names," said Miss Ibis. She showed all the little crocodiles just what letters each one had in his or her name. They wrote and wrote and wrote and smiled and smiled and smiled. The letters spelled out Sam, Jane, John, Kay, Kate, Tom, Amy. They all wrote and smiled some more. Readers, what do you notice about all of these names? Yeah, they're all pretty short. 3 letters, 4 letters, 4 letters, 3 letters. What do we know about our main character's name? William Everett. Holy smokes, that's not a 3 or 4 letter name. All except William Everett. He had so many letters in his name that he kept forgetting at least one of them. Oh, poor guy. Look at his face. You can really infer that he's feeling very frustrated. Poor William Everett. Big tears ran down his nose. "Is something wrong, William Everett?" Pete asked. "I'll never learn how to write my name," he cried. "It has too many letters." What do you think Pete is writing, readers? Think about the background knowledge that you have from the title of the text. I knew you'd figure it out. Now, William Everett, said Pete. I think I can help you write your name and not forget any letters. He took a pencil and wrote. Let's see if your prediction's correct, reader. Here we go. Did you learn something today, William Everett? Asked Mama. Yes, Mama. I learned to write my name, said William Everett. Oh, Bill, Mama beamed. Okay, Mass. Readers, if you're not sure what beamed means, let's use our text clues and our background knowledge to make a really smart inference. Mama has done this every single time we've seen these little hearts above her head when William has come home with something she's proud of. So he came home looking really proud that he could finally write his name. Thanks for Pete for giving him a shortened version, right? That's right, readers. I also infer that Mama is really proud of Pete. Because I've seen my mama be happy when I come home with something I'm proud of and I want to celebrate. So that's my background knowledge. And my text clues are, I can see these hearts above her head and the big smile on her face that tells me Mama's proud. She's not mad. She's not sad. So beamed is what you look like and how you feel when you're so proud. Excellent inference on that new and interesting word. One Saturday, when there was no school, Bill and Pete went down to the River Nile and sat on the bank in the sun. We talked about the bank as the edge, so that still makes sense. A man on a bicycle went riding by. Behind the bicycle were cages filled with crocodiles. I wonder what that's all about, said Bill. That's the bad guy. And those crocodiles are on their way to Cairo. I actually have background knowledge, readers, that Cairo is a city in Egypt. So that makes sense to me. He'd be on his way to a big city. To become suitcases, said an old crocodile swimming by. Watch out, he doesn't catch you. But he did. The very next Saturday, Bill and Pete were fishing and they didn't hear the bad guy creep up behind them. The bad guy lassoed Bill and put him in a cage. He didn't pay any attention to Pete at all. Pete tried to peck the bad guy, but Pete was just too small. Oh, poor Bill. He was on his way to Cairo now. All he could think about was suitcases. Brave Pete. He stayed close to his friend. The bad guy put Bill in his garden and went into the house. Run me in a nice hot tub, Jeeves, the bad guy said to his butler. I will take a bath before dinner. I got me another crocodile today and I need a nap. Call me when the bath is ready. Tomorrow that crocodile becomes a suitcase, he added. How do you think Pete's feeling, readers? Why do you think that? Yeah, I think he's feeling sad and scared too. I can tell by the look on his face, his eyes closed, and if I was caged up and worried about becoming a suitcase, yeah, I'd be sad and scared too. For sure. Not if I have anything to say about it, said Pete. I'm more than just a toothbrush, and Pete picked the lock with his beak. Quick, Bill, let's get out of here, said Pete. No, I'm mad, said Bill. I'm going to make sure there are no more crocodile suitcases. Bill climbed the wall. That's a funny picture. Have you ever seen a crocodile climb a wall? We don't have very many crocodiles around here. He crept through the living room into the bathroom. You've seen that page before. Your bath is ready, sir, said Jeeves. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Oops. And there was Bill, right with the rubber ducky. So was your inference of the new and interesting word we practiced with bathroom? It wasn't new and interesting, but the covered one. Was that right? Did he go to the bathroom? It was right. Bill and Pete went to the bathroom. And what is it that Tomie Depaola, our author, did to make this picture so funny? What makes this picture so funny to you? Yeah, the look on Bill's face, the guy hopping in the tub with sunglasses on, the rubber ducky just still being nice and happy on Bill's back, Pete pecking at his foot. The author was really careful to make these illustrations have tiny little tweaks in them that make them pretty funny for us as the reader. I appreciate when authors do that. The bad guy jumped out the window and didn't stop running all the way to Cairo. Well, that's a funny picture too. Oh, look, a nice dinner, said Pete. And am I hungry, said Bill. Mama, you don't have to cook dinner for us tonight, Bill said when they got home. And he told her what happened. Oh, Bill. Oh, Pete, Mama exclaimed. What an adventure! I am so proud of the two of you. All right, last new and interesting word. You may or may not know what this word is, but it's good practice for inferring new words or tricky words that are hard to read. Exclaimed. Oh, Bill. Oh, Pete, Mama exclaimed. I see those hearts above her head again, so she must be proud again. And if she's exclaiming something, the author could say Mama said, but this is juicier than said. Oh, Bill. Oh, Pete, Mama exclaimed. What an adventure. I am so proud of the two of you. I think it means Mama said it with excitement, because if you're proud of someone you love, and you say, what an adventure, I have background knowledge, I say that with excitement. Wow, nice job, readers. Thanks for hanging in there with me while Baby Dane decided to join us. That was a fun little surprise, right? Okay, so a lot of times when we read books, they have a theme, a pattern, or a message. What can you infer is the message or the pattern theme that the author wants us to learn? What do you think? I think there's lots, actually. What's cool is a lot of times we can take away more than one author's message or theme from a text. I think Bill learned to persevere and never give up. Things in the beginning were easy for him, right? Like learning the alphabet, learning to write the alphabet, but then he got frustrated when he couldn't figure out his name. So he persevered through that. He showed grit. And then because his body knew how to persevere and show grit, when he got caught by the bad guy, he showed that perseverance and he showed that grit again. So because perseverance and grit came up with the alphabet, perseverance and grit came up with his name, and he showed perseverance and grit with the bad guy, that's a pattern I see happening over and over. So I think a theme in this text is definitely showing perseverance and grit. That's my evidence. Do you think it's an important life lesson the author wants us to learn to show perseverance and grit? Is right now a good time in life to show perseverance and grit? Yeah, I know it's tempting to just give up and not do your work. I know it's tempting to just want to go meet everybody and go to school, and we just can't right now. So hang in there. Keep showing that perseverance. Keep showing that grit. You've got this, readers. You can do it. Such a great lesson we could take away from this text. All right. Our target was I will infer the meaning of new and interesting words. I sure hope you practiced with me today. And if you didn't, I want you to practice next time you're reading. Next time you're reading your favorite book and you come to a new and interesting word that you can't read or you don't know the meaning of, try practicing using your context clues to infer what the word is or what the word means. You've got this, readers. I'm so proud of you. Hang in there. Great to see you. I hope you enjoyed Bill and Pete. Say bye, Baby Dane. Bye, readers.
See you next time.
Whoop, whoop. Bye, guys.